Hello and welcome to the Habitat Project podcast, where we talk about cultivating good habits, pursuing our dreams, and enjoying life. I'm Anthony, and these are my findings on how to make the most out of each day and enjoy the process along the way. Let's go. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Hope you all had a great holiday. I know I have. It might have actually been a little bit too long. I enjoyed myself a little bit too much. This is episode 33. In this episode, I want to talk about dealing with post-holiday blues, as well as my plan of attack to get back on track and into the swing of things to start this year. Before I start, for the new listeners, welcome to the Habitat Project podcast. My name is Anthony, and I created a mobile app called HabitApp to help create habits, structure, and systems for those who have fallen off track to get back on track. HabitApp helps with your morning and night routine to create this structure for you to put yourself in best position to handle the challenges of each day, as well as put yourself into a position to sleep each night. There is also a weekly report that allows you to see how you have performed throughout the week in the areas that are within your control. HabitApp guides you through your day and helps in creating habits like meditation, journaling, and self-control. The methods are based on the philosophy of Stoicism. For those who want to study and live by the philosophy, this is an easy way to begin. To download HabitApp, simply go to the App Store or the Google Play Store, and it's completely free. You can also send me an email on anthony@thehabitatproject.net to join our weekly support group where like-minded individuals who are also building their habits and are going after their goals come together to share their journey. With that out of the way, let's get into today's episode. The reason I want to do this as the first episode of the year is because I have just come back from this 3-week break and I'm feeling the crash. I'm feeling down, I feel low on energy, and a little bit overwhelmed with all the things that I need to do to get back into real life. Coming back from holiday, it is exhausting. As I mentioned in the previous episode of the podcast last year, I had quit casual drinking. Well, during the holiday, that came back in a strong way. I ate too much. I drank too much. It was Christmas. We were seeing friends and family that we haven't seen for a long time. It was a holiday. But now my stomach, my digestion needs a break. The dopamine levels have increased way above baseline through the holidays. And now the proportional dip below baseline is happening. I feel unmotivated, unfocused, and low on energy. This is the post-holiday blues. I chose not to work out at all during the break. My knees were in need of a break from training. Towards the end of last year, they were still quite swollen post-competition. So the 3 weeks of being completely off have been really good for my knees. I think I should have done something at least, but it's all right. I can't do anything about it now. But the good news is the knees are feeling great and I'm ready to get back into training. The challenge now for me is to get into the swing of things, to begin putting the systems in place in order for me to reach the goals that I've set for 2023. To begin my training at the gym, training my mind, training my body, to begin to serve the community around me. All of this can be hard to do and be really overwhelming. I feel really overwhelmed when the dopamine levels and energy levels are low. So I want to do this episode to talk about my strategy to overcome this and get myself back on track. Hope it's useful for those of you who are in the same boat as I am. The reason I want to do this is so that I can get back on track and be effective. Holidays, parties, festivities are great, but true fulfillment and feeling good about myself comes from being effective and doing the work that in my duties. So being effective is the first reason for why I want to get back on track effectively. The second reason is that after accomplishing some of the major goals from last year, I now have the next stage of the journey for these goals. The next stage of development for HabitApp, for the HabitApp Project YouTube channel, which is coming soon, for the next stage of life for Leah, Louis, and I. And thirdly, I want to be healthy. I want to have mental acuity. I want to be fit. And this is the only way that I can best serve the world around me. If I don't do this, if I don't do anything about the post-holiday blues, I'll just simply not be effective. I'll be down, I'll be tired, I'll have low on energy, I won't be motivated. I will also be impatient and moody. This will not allow me to be at my best self to handle the challenges of the day. I'll still be in holiday mode. This means that I'll be unfocused, undisciplined. I'm unfocused in my ability to produce. I'm undisciplined, not only in putting myself in the best position to do my best work, but also in my thought and emotional patterns as well. I allow myself to be pushed and pulled by, impulses, instead of being disciplined and choosing the thought and emotional patterns that are most useful for me to handle whatever challenges that are present. Lastly, there are important time-sensitive short-term goals that require me to be at my best. If I don't put myself into this position where I'm ready, where I'm focused, where I'm disciplined, then I won't be able to achieve these short-term goals. There will be longer impacts on other goals down the line. So I need to be able to do this. If I don't do anything immediately, I actually think that the post-holiday blues will go away on its own. The body and mind will just rebalance itself over time, but it will just take longer. And I think I won't be effective in this time. The holidays are done. Now it's time to get back on track and get back to work. And I can focus on what's within my control to put myself in the best position to get back on track and to be effective. So these are my strategies, my solutions to get myself back on track. Number one, I need to remember and understand the pain and pleasure balance. I learned this in this book, Dopamine Nation by Anna Lemke. The pain and pleasure balance relates to the level of dopamine that's within our brain. When we experience something good, like a meal, when we're on holiday, the pleasure side increases. The balance, however, doesn't want to be tilted for too long. It rebalances itself back to homeostasis, back to balance. So in order to do this, there's a natural occurring increase in the pain side. This can be felt sometimes when we want to continue to eat more of a piece of food to feel the satisfaction. If we continue to eat more and increase the pleasure, there will later be a harder and proportionately large come down as the pain and pleasure balance itself out. When we experience something painful or hard, there is an increase on the pain side of the balance. Once again, the balance doesn't want to be tilted on one side for too long, so there is an increase in the pleasure side in order to rebalance itself. During the holidays, I was quite naturally doing a lot of things that increased the balance on the pleasure side. Going to restaurants, catching up with friends, going to new places. They were often stacked on top of one another. Also, going on social media, posting the stories, things like this. These activities were accompanied by food and by alcohol. All of these things increase dopamine in my system. All of these things were not particularly hard to do as well. They were really easy. There wasn't really any strain. Now that these are over, I'm feeling the rebalancing of the pain and pleasure balance. The pain side is coming, or it's already here, which feels like low energy, low motivation, and this low emotional quality. In order for me to help with this rebalancing, I must first be aware of the workings of this balance. I know that for me to help with the rebalancing, I must put effort and do the work. I must access the dopamine system by creating meaning out of the work that I have. I must be both patient in my approach as I look to understand that the mind and body requires time to adjust. I must be empathetic and not blame myself and regret for the things that I did whilst on holidays. That has already passed and it's outside of my control. The following are the things that are within my control and I can focus on to help with this rebalancing and get myself back on track. The first thing is to prioritize sleep and recovery. Whilst on holidays, I had some sort of alcoholic beverage throughout the day and into most nights, and it affected the quality of my sleep and the rebalancing of the pain and pleasure balance. The first thing I need to do is to prioritize sleep and recovery. It has been challenging to have a bedtime over the holidays. I want to watch another episode of Kaleidoscope on Netflix, which is what I'm watching right now. Check it out if you haven't, it's pretty good. I want to see what's going on in people's IG stories. I haven't been disciplined. But if I want to help with this rebalancing, I need to sleep. And I may even add an afternoon nap into the mix for me to help with the process by making sure that I'm not taking too long a nap as well, that it affects my nighttime sleep. Next, towards the end of our holiday, Leah and I actually sat down and created the goals for the year. Now that I'm back, it is time to turn this month's goals into a weekly plan, into specific tasks to be tackled each day. This is important because I know the reason for the tasks to be taken, the reason why these goals are important. I know that what the repercussions will be if I don't do them. This leverage is useful for me when I'm feeling low on energy and don't feel like doing the work. I think about what will happen if I don't get myself together and get back on track. I need to say here that it's also important to not take on too much. It can become overwhelming if I just make this massive plan of attack. It's better for me when I identify the important, crucial tasks that are linked to time-sensitive or higher priority goals. And from there, I can build momentum with the smaller steps to be taken for each task. This is a practice of prioritization and focus. It's a practice of slowly ramping up my productivity. By being able to achieve one small step, it allows me to feel this satisfaction and an increase in dopamine, which will help in getting momentum to achieve other tasks down the list. Tracking progress is going to help with this feeling of being effective. Sometimes when I wake up, there is this feeling of dread at the moment, like there is so much to get done. And I don't have the energy to do them. But then I remember that I have a working plan and that it's already been created, and that I just need to go through one by one to the best of my ability, and I can look back at the previous day's progress and see what's been done. I can see and prove to myself that I have the capability to get things done, especially during this time, during this post-holidays blues moment. I think that tracking even the smallest progress will help gain momentum in getting me back on track. Next is to use HabitApp's morning and night routine. As mentioned earlier, during the holidays, I didn't really do the morning and night routines. The only thing that I continued to do consistently was meditation. The rest of them I did sometimes, but definitely not every day. The beauty about HabitApp is that the routines are there already for me to use without making a decision. This also means that to get back on track, I don't have to think about which ones I need to do. I just wake up, open the app, and do them. By getting back into the morning routine, I'm able to begin practice making the effort, the reward, and accessing the dopamine reward system. The morning routine allows me to put myself in preparation for the challenges of each day, for all the tasks that I have laid out for each day. The meditation practice allows me to practice awareness in the morning so that I can see the thoughts and emotions that come and go. I can create space for myself so I don't have to go with the patterns that are not useful, this leftover patterns from the holiday that aren't useful for right now. The journaling practice allows me to create the mental emotional patterns for the day. It allows me to make meaning out of the challenges that arise, including this post-holiday blues. The post-holiday blues itself is the challenge to handle. This challenge, I need to put in the effort and to do the work. And so basically the morning routine puts myself onto this path. The night routine will help me with any anxious thoughts and emotions from the day. There is a lot of things that I need to do, a lot of things that have a time sensitivity that I need to do and get done. And if I'm still feeling worried about them at night, the night routine helps me overcome that by seeing what has already been done and how and what the tasks are going to be for the following day. I'm still feeling low, although I have made progress. The night routine will help me manage these emotions and put myself in the best position to sleep. Lastly, the last step of the solution to come out of the post-holiday blues is to ramp up and train my ability to focus. So I break down my tasks into manageable chunks where I practice deep, uninterrupted, focused work. I need to recognize that I may be rusty and not bite off too big a chunk of work. This may cause the work to be too strenuous for now and for me to not be able to accomplish them, which leads to feeling worse and not being able to get through the work at all. To help with this practice, I've started to again listen to binaural beats at 40 hertz for a period of 30 minutes in the car before I get to work. I also turn my phone on flight mode during the work bouts, and by making progress with each small chunk of deep focus work, I'm able to train my ability to focus. This is the strain and effort that tilts the pain and pleasure balance towards the pain side, as there's strain. However, when I see the progress and seeing the results that come, and along with the rebalancing of the pain and pleasure balance, I feel the pleasure and satisfaction. And this is how I'm making the effort itself the reward. So that's the end of this episode, the first episode of the year. I'm feeling down, but these are my plans to get myself back on track. And I hope for those of you who are also feeling the post-holidays blues, find this one useful, and good luck on your journey to get back on track and smash your goals for the year. I created HabitApp and the Habitat community to help those who are going through a setback get back on track. HabitApp is a mobile app that helps those that are feeling down get back on track by creating structure in a morning and night routine. If you are going through a hard time, I just want to let you know that you are not alone. You don't have to go through this alone. We have a weekly meetup where guys that are also working on their own habits and routines come together to support one another. If you're keen to join us, email me on anthony@thehabitatproject.net or DM me on Instagram @habitapp_. For all information for what I'm doing for this project, please check out our website, thehabitatproject.net. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Please share this with your friends and family if they need the tools, techniques, and perspective that we talk about to help them get back on track if they're going through some sort of setback. Please give me up to a 5-star review on Spotify. It will really help this little show that I'm building. If you have any feedback, please let me know and I'll put them into work to improve on the craft of podcasting. I'm Anthony. I'm inspired by your stories, your effort, your grit, and I'm grateful to be on this journey with you. Keep on cultivating good habits, pursue your dreams, and enjoy life. And as always, much love and see you on the next episode.